Learn quickly, they'll come for your blow. Games get played, can't take it personal.
Cause the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. Some things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey. Barbershop conversations, man. I can't come nowhere. You can sit over there, Kiki. You can sit over there. And let's jump into this, man. Don't forget, tonight we gonna go in on this subject tonight. Click the link in the bio. Click the link in the bio and go to Barbershop Conversations Live. Our lives will be on that channel. So let's jump into this, man. Hit the subscribe button, man. Go over there tonight. This is gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be a very fun show tonight. And first, I want to say everyone that told me I was crazy. Boxing don't need no schedule. Well, Showtime says, you know what? Not only do we need a schedule, we need a 5-month schedule. So let me pat myself on the back. Let me tell y'all once again, if you go against me, you're going in the wrong direction. All right. I repeat, if you're going against me, you're going in the wrong direction. But I want to sit here and talk about the schedule. Let's look at the schedule and let's go through the schedule. I'll tell you the first things I noticed with the schedule is the first thing I noticed with the schedule is Jamal and Schedule-Charlo are no longer pay-per-view stars. Both their fights will be for free. June 19th and July 17th. So they got to do a better job at building their brand. I didn't see a Gary Russell fight. That's pretty interesting to me. That's really, really interesting to me. Yeah. Yep. Yep. But the other thing that I noticed too is Luis Nery is fighting May 15th. And look, you guys can't see it because I didn't post it, but September 11th, he's fighting the winner, the kid from Philadelphia. Stevie Fulton is fighting him. So they do understand tournaments. They do understand how to satisfy the fans. They do understand that the fans are really curious about what's next. And boxing always got to stay 2 steps ahead. Sports in general, life in general, got to stay 2 steps ahead. It's so important. But let's go through the schedule really, really fast, man. I just want to say, personally, I'm happy because I think that just that there's a schedule. You know, Bob Arum came on and released his schedule. PBC announced their schedule. So now fans can really make moves. Summer times are really, really important. You got family reunions. You got family trips. You got men trips. You got girlfriend trips. You know what I mean? So it's all these things are convoluted into 90 days in the summertime. And all a man wants to do is go to a boxing match once or twice for the summer. You know what I mean? Go get with his boys, 3 or 4 dudes, smoke a cigar, do what we do, strip clubs, whatever you do. Go to shows in Vegas, whatever you want to do. You just want to do it. And I think that's important. People want to spend money the way they want to spend money. And I think boxing lost sight of that for a while. But I want to get into these fights. Luis Nery, Brandon Figueroa. Luis Nery disappointed me in his last fight. Brandon Figueroa is a punching machine. We'll see what leads into that. I'm curious into that fight. I'm very curious. Nonito Donaire against Ubali. I'm interested in that fight. How much does Nonito Donaire have in the tank? But the one thing I can guarantee you is because Nonito Donaire may have lost a percentage of himself. So at some point in the fight, he's going to have to sit there and exchange, similar to the way he did against Monster. So that's going to be a very TV-friendly fight. Schedule-Charlo versus Ron Montiel. I do like the date. I do like the date, and I'm just going to keep it a buck. It's a terrible fight. Schedule-Charlo said on Brian Custer, shout out to Brian Custer. He said, Brian Custer, that who is Andrade? And then he's fighting a guy with Juan Montreal who has 1,500 followers on Instagram. Okay. So let's go on to that. And then and they have that fight there for the lead in to guess who? Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios. it's a very as we get closer and closer to this fight, people are going to get more and more intrigued with this fight because Tank is moving up to 140. Mario Barrios has a lot of competitive advantages against him, height and reach. He's more comfortable at the weight. This fight is gonna be in Atlanta, I heard. So that fight is gonna sell out. It's gonna be a pro Tank Davis fight. So I'm very interested in this fight. And the one thing I will say is Tank, is Tank, you got to your maturity is gonna have to kick in. Your maturity, it's very, very important that you start maturing. And if not, your reign on the top is going to be short like leprechauns, pun intended, little nigga. All right. So at the end of the day, Tank needs some men around him. I don't agree with this move. I think Gary Russell, I don't think you pass up Gary Russell money for Mario Barrios money. It don't make sense, but it's the Floyd Mayweather Leonard LB plan. I don't like it. So it's going to be a compelling fight. We'll see. Mario Barrios got a chance to pull off his Andy Ruiz moment. And it's funny how Latinos get to pull off that moment against black fighters because boxing always has this black Latino dynamic. And shout out to the fighters that actually win, but then they get mad at people who yell out about race in boxing. All right, Chris Colbert, Gambo. It's a bullshit fight. It's a bullshit fight. I don't even know, but it's a July 3rd fight. It's a cool fight to have on the weekend because we're going to celebrate the 4th of July. Many families are going to celebrate the 4th of July on that Saturday. So it's a cool fight. That is family reunion weekend. So maybe we'll get a chance to watch it. Who cares? You know, Colbert is going to style and profile against him. Gamboa's best days are behind him. And this may be his last swan song. And that was a guarantee. Yeah, that may be his last swan song. Jamel Charlo, Brian Castano. What can we say? Every belt is on the line in this fight. Congratulations, Jamel Charlo, for getting this far. Congratulations to Jamel Charlo for fighting everybody that they put in front of him. I'm happy for the kid. Hopefully they put this fight in Texas. It's a Vegas fight, but it's not going to sell in Vegas because if the Jamel Charlo didn't do well on pay-per-view, he's not going to convince me to fly to Vegas. I'm talking about me, the boxing fan. So I think they'll put this fight down in Texas, probably in Houston, and they'll pull from their 28 days apart. So that'll be cool. If I'm Jamel Charlo, maybe he can convince them to come on out. It's early DJ Screw gift. You got to promote it as such. Jamel and Jamal, make sure you have Toby engaged in this. Make sure you have not Pimp C, but yeah, Pimp C. I mean, no, he passed away, excuse me. But you guys know who I'm talking about. Just have that shit entrenched and holla at me if you need some suggestions. All right. I don't know the area, but I can give you some ideas as to how to promote that fight and get your ass and get y'all motherfuckers back on pay-per-view. Guillermo Rigondeaux. It's gonna be a competitive fight. As we saw, Guillermo Rigondeaux doesn't move that much any longer. He still got that kill shot as we saw in his last fight. He was down on the scorecards and then pop, fight's over. You know, so that's gonna be a middle. That's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of punches thrown in that fight. And Guillermo Rigondeaux is gonna have his punch output is gonna have to be much higher. So I'm interested in that fight. John Rio Casamaria, I saw him fight his last 2 fights, I believe. So it's gonna be a good fight. David Benavidez, Jose Uzataki. It's a bullshit fight. Jose Uzataki's best days are behind him. And that's I don't know why Lonnie is not in this spot. I'm real interested to find out why Lonnie, who beat Jose Uzataki last December, is not in this spot. So I'm real interested to find out who, what, where, when, why, and how. I don't know what's going on with what's Floyd's company name? Mayweather Promotions. I'm real interested why he didn't take this fight. But Uzataki, best days are behind him. But as you can tell by the date, they're going to build the suspense. August 28th, David Benavidez is really going to take care of Jose Uzataki. He might retire him. And then guess what happens 2 weeks later? Caleb Plant versus Canelo. That's a great segue into that. That fight is going to be in Texas. And they're going to play off of that momentum. And so David Benavidez is going to be a hot customer. If I'm David Benavidez, I make my way down to Houston, Texas for the Schedule-Charlo fight, and I put pressure on him. Simply put, I go down there Friday. Hey, David Benavidez, Houston is a great city. Come on out, man, and we'll have a great time down. Not we, but I'm just saying you have a lot of fans down there. They'll be happy to see you. So, and then you got the winner, Stevie Fulton. Stevie Fulton versus I got to get the last of that card. Let's see. Barack had it up. Shout out to my main man, Barack. Barack Best, man. Nobody does it better. Nobody does it better on nobody does it better on the zone than the Ak and Barack show, man. Awesome. So if you guys can see that, all right. Now we have Stevie Fulton versus the winner of Nery Figueroa. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. The Stevie Fulton that showed up against that kid from New Mexico by way of TMT Promotions, nobody beats him at 122. Nobody beats him at 122. And I'm very interested to see what card they put. Shit, I'm drawing. I always do this, man. Our new favorite fighter in the barbershop. Bobby McCoy, his fighter. You got to start doing more interviews. I'm forgetting his name, but I'm interested to see what undercard they're gonna put him on. Maybe Chris Colbert, July 3rd. I'm interested, and he'll win that fight, and then he'll fight the winner of Stevie Fulton Figueroa. I like that they put winner of Nery Figueroa. Now I'm gonna tell all y'all fight fans moving forward. Now we can start holding boxing accountable, especially Showtime, because look, Stevie Fulton versus the winner of Nery Figueroa. You get what I'm saying? So let's start holding these people accountable in terms of giving the fans what they want, because we haven't seen this in a long time in boxing. Versus the winner, right? And this is what I asked for. I think Showtime can make a lot of money and gain a lot of fans off their 122-pound division, but they're gonna have to put some shoulder programming together. You can't just have these guys show up because no one knows them. But I think they are worth the price of admission. All right, so I'm excited. Stevie Fulton on 9/11. That fight is going to be on the East Coast somewhere. 9/11. It only makes sense, man. Probably be in the brotherly love city of Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? And you pull from the emotions of America. So you go out to the Liberty Bowl, so on and so forth. And it may even be up in that arena up there in Connecticut. But I think that'll be an East Coast fight. Stevie Fulton to be the favorite versus anybody. I'm excited. And where are we at? And I think that pretty much sums it up. And so I'm interested in that. And we'll see what pops, man. But anyways, man, I think I'm happy, PBC. I'm ecstatic that we have a schedule. You know, I'm not saying the fights are great. I'm not excited. I'm not ultra excited about one fight as it stands alone. If I had to pick a fight, I would pick Schedule-Charlo out of that list, because I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy for Jamel, because he beat a great Tony Harrison that night. He beat an upstart Lubin that night. He had it tough, man. Jamel had it tough, man. And you got to put some respect on his name. You got to put and I wouldn't say that I am, like, in terms of his style for 12 rounds, you know, he doesn't throw the jab enough sometimes. He moves without ring generalship. He just circles for no reason with his hands down and stuff like that. At the end of the day, the man wins. And he's a 3-belt champion. And he could do something. He could go in the history books forever. So Jamel, it's on you. Hopefully it'll be great to have that in the city of Houston. And I'm going to tell you something, Jamel. Hear me out and hear me clearly. Make sure your high school is attached to this fight. Because you're not big yet, but you can be a hometown hero. Make sure your high school, your middle school, all your teachers, your favorite police officer. Make sure you go to the city council meetings. Make sure you invite the mayor. Make sure you invite the councilman. and make sure that this fight is in Houston. I'm giving too much game. I know. And hopefully they do that and they go back to back in Houston. I think Houston. I love Houston. I can't wait to get back there. If both those fights are in Houston, I think I'm gonna go to Charlo's fight rather than Jamal Charlo's fight. I know that's on Juneteenth, but I can celebrate it here. You know what I mean? In LA, the most beautiful city in the world, baby. Barbershop Conversations. We're waiting on Fox to drop their schedule. Earl Spence has a date. He's just sitting there waiting. And that'll do it. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations. We're going to talk about this tonight in the barbershop. Click the link in the description box. Join Barbershop Conversations live, and we're going to have a great time with it. The website should be coming real soon. And that's what we on. Peace.